Day, Israel. Today's video is a Psalms 83 manifesto, signs of the time theory, that just so happens to be the beginning of a much bigger theory, that just so happens to be the beginning of a huge theory, that just so happens to share the exact same unfunky possibilities as the first. Let's begin, shall we? Psalms 83 in the Septuagint. Quote, "For behold, thine enemies have made a noise, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Against thy people they have craftily imagined a device, and have taken counsel against thy saints." Stop. Again, as you can plainly see, by it saying, quote, "Against thy people they have craftily imagined a device." And when you add in the fact that other scriptures attest our perfidious enemies came into us unguardedly, that can only mean our eternal enemies facilitated a tool that has encompassed the colours as a whole under the guise of empowerment, etc., thus allowing them and their agents to be in and out and agile with their flow within the colored sphere with the admiration and blessings. Of course, you know I believe hip-hop's unredeemable nature and the unyielding rebellious defense of it will be used, along with your mistake in allowing them to brand hip-hop as black culture, to have the Israelis, under their Messiah's reign, thus cleansing the earth of sin, to show no mercy, do what must be done. You remember exactly what the Anointed One told us the enemies of my God wanted. Right. To not only take over the fruit / us and not give it back, but also take over the vineyard / world as their very own as well. And if we continue with the scripture, I will start proving my theory through the signs of the times. Verse 4, quote, "Against thy people they have craftily imagined a device, and have taken counsel against thy saints. They have said, Come, and let us utterly destroy them out of the nation." Listen closely. "And let the name of Israel be remembered no more at all. For they have taken counsel together with one consent. They have made a confederacy against thee." Example. As you can see, this is a multifaceted mission that's ongoing. I want to focus on the last two prongs in this video. Destroy the untouchable chosen out of the nation, and somehow, in some way, eliminate the name of Israel forever. Allow me to ask you a question, gentle strangers. Remember when we discovered the majority of the police in America are trained by the Israelis? And I said then, not only is this the real reason why the police always are found not guilty, for they are only doing what they were trained, but most importantly, seeing the Israelis are the world's only full-time occupying force, it was only prudent to perceive the Israelis are training and coordinating their efforts with the American police to occupy a nation. Another question. Remember when we discovered the Israelis were sending 1,000 specialized soldiers to Honduras? And I said then, damn, I can't hear your answer because this is a video. But if you remember those discoveries, to start our journey, check out the real reason why the Israelis are sending soldiers to Honduras. According to world socialists, etc., other sources also. But I'm going to use this one because it says everything I want to say in short clips. Under Honduras cracks down on teachers, doctors, and students protesting privatization drive. May 2nd, 2019. Example, bingo. So as you can see, just as the Mossad official motto states, no, not rise up and kill first. That's the nation's official motto. I'm talking about the Mossad official motto. You know, by way of deception, thou shalt do war. Well, as you can plainly hear by the headline, the Israelis are quietly doing what the Israelis are world famous for doing. Yep, teaching a government how to occupy a people. And don't be surprised to see Israeli soldiers alongside the cops in a town near you in the aftermath of the next major protest or event. Why? Please remember our Occupy Wall Street series when we discovered a law has already been passed. 399 yes to only 3 no's, and ratified by the African American Manchurian candidate Barry Soetoro. Barack Hussein Obama. You remember? When I proved the Occupy Wall Street protest was not only a brilliant and strategic controlled opposition ploy any evildoer worth their salt would have done, but because the white man's evil dial is stripped and now stuck on high, in this case to me, they didn't let a crisis, even though it was manufactured, go to waste and ordered their proxies to concoct the social media bread and circus cocktail of emotions, violence, religion, injustice, and death that they injected into your bloodstream until you were comfortably numb to their ultimate ruse. What did they do while you were strung out much too far, you wonder? According to Wikipedia, under Federal Restricted Buildings and Grounds Improvement Act of 2011. Quote, also known as H.R. 347, is a federal law in the United States allowing the Secret Service extra jurisdiction to make arrests and suppress protests in cases of trespass on restricted locations and international disruptions of government functions. Introduced by Representative Thomas Rooney, Florida, it makes punishable by up to 10 years jail time or fine any persons who does, personal quote, or conspires to enter any, personal quote, restricted building or grounds or within certain, personal quote, proximity, listen to that one, or within certain proximity without lawful authority to do so, attempting to disrupt the orderly conduct of government business. It defines restricted buildings or grounds as the, personal quote, A, of the White House or its grounds, or the Vice President's office, residence or its grounds, B, of the buildings or grounds where the President or other persons protected by the Secret Service is or will be temporarily visiting, or C, of a building or ground so restricted in conjunction with an event designated as a special event of national significance. Example, bingo. They made protest in America illegal. And I told you then, they are currently sandbagging on this law, just like others, until it's time to close their fist of fury. You remember the video, don't you? When I said way back then, they will do a massive arrest at a major protest. And if you are colored, they will put the pressure on you to move out of the country or go to jail. And if the 14th Amendment is suspended at this time, ship their black asses out of the country regardless. Or, because they have committed a crime, follow the letter of the law of the land, 13th Amendment, and put them back in legal slavery, thus fulfilling prophecies like being stored in their jailhouses and the removal of the ungodly and revolters. Shut your bloody mouth, you bloody wanker scribe! I know most of you want to say, I would agree with you if I didn't know this. according to Information Clearhouse, etc. Information Clearhouse. It's reputable. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And others, but they use specific wording real close, so I can keep going. But let's continue. Under 1,000 Israeli soldiers to arrive in Honduras to train troops, police on border protection. May 7th, 2019. Perceptual context. As you can see, on May 2nd, there was a massive protest against an American-backed puppet. On May 7th, 1,000 Israeli troops, enough to train 10 armies, are scheduled to put their Jew boots on the ground. Let's see who else have this type of extra protection arrangement, shall we? Quote, Information Clearhouse, that's according to them. Quote, Honduras will receive 1,000 Israeli soldiers to train the country's army for border protection, fight against drug trafficking, investigation, here's the big one, and counter-terrorism. Stop. Bingo. Why bingo, you ponder? Because by international law, anytime an individual, and as you can see with Iran, an entire military is put on any type of terrorism list for all the countries in the now infamous Coalition of the Willings War on Terrorism, it is mandatory, with broad powers vested in them, to neutralize the threat. More on this later. Let's continue to see what other countries are involved in the process of subverting the United Nations, who are not the Israelis' friend, mind you. Let's see who else is subverting the peacekeeping obligations of the United Nations by making third-party security deals. Shall we? Listen closely. Quote, a multilateral, what? A multilateral military treaty between Honduras, Israel, and the United States will see the deployment of 1,000 Israeli soldiers at Honduras. They will train the armed forces of Honduras and national police. Listen to this occupying job description. Quote, the main mission of the troops is to train for border protection to stop migrants fleeing Honduras to the U.S., especially children. Stop. Bingo. Remember the video when we went over the actual NAFTA treaty to find out all of the increased border security demands, new federal checkpoints in the middle of the country, harsh oxymoron, hurting the rich state immigration laws passed but not implemented yet, new laws proposed with only the need for an event to go live to impose a mandatory national ID card, new laws that were designed to protect local police from strange, unheard of lawsuits, etc., wasn't designed to keep Americans safe by keeping people out. No. Everything was designed to keep a special people in. And I told you then, because there is nothing new under the sun, they were creating the tools so the police can simply go back to their original job description. You know, they were creating a slave catching network. Well, ta-da! And before your doubt demons start twisting your mind to somehow find some way to say America is not a part of this occupation operation, let's continue, please.